The following is a paid program. WOR's airing of this program constitutes neither an endorsement of the products offered or the ideas expressed.
Live from the studios of iHeartRadio and WOR 710 AM in beautiful downtown Tribeca, it's the Tom Maoli Go Big or Go Home show. We will go live inside the mind of Tom Maoli, and he will explain how you can start a business, grow your business, fund your idea, or the next multi-million-dollar invention, or how to buy the piece of real estate you've always wanted. Now's your chance to hear it live right from the entrepreneur's entrepreneur. And now, here's Tom Maoli.
It's Tom Maoli here for the Go Big or Go Home show, and you know, it's just an honor to be here at WOR 710. For the listeners out there that are listening, you know, WOR is new to me. This is the first show. It's the inaugural show, and I'm here with Jim Totten. Jim, how you doing?
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good. It's absolutely amazing.
How do you like these studios here?
Oh, the studios
Beautiful.
are absolutely amazing, and you know, it's just an honor to sit here in the same chair as Len Berman, and you know, from the Len Berman studios here, where the Mets game is announced from, and it's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing where this whole thing has gone from WABC over to WOR 710, iHeartRadio. You know, we're out there right now, and we have 250 million listeners.
Amazing.
It's unbelievable. It's just it's wild. And you know, for people who obviously it's new. You know, hopefully we got some listeners that have come over from WABC over to WOR, and you know, Go Big or Go Home. What is it about? You know, it's about an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and you know, it's about getting out from behind the cubicle, starting your own business, you know, buying real estate, you know, following your dream, going to do what you want to do, and having no one stop you. And, you know, there's a mindset out there, and the mindset is everybody lives in fear. You know, they go to work every day, and, you know, they get behind their cubicle, and, you know, in a lot of places in corporate America, people actually hide because they're afraid of being laid off or downsized, and, you know, and so, you know, and they sit there, and everybody has ideas. I want to buy real estate. I want to invest in my own business. I have a business idea. And no, you know, the question is, how do you do it? And I get calls all day long and emails, and people hit my website. And by the way, that's tommaoli.net. Anybody wants to hit my website, you can hit the website. You can ask questions. You could find out more about me. But, you know, over here at WOR and iHeart, it was just amazing because we started, you know, before today's show. It's been running for about 3 weeks now. Is the Maoli Minute.
Fantastic.
It's the response has been amazing. It's been amazing. It's unreal. And you know, it's on the daily morning drive to work, and it's on your work drive home in the evening, and it's daily business tips.
AM and PM drive, primetime listening.
It is. It's amazing. And, you know, as the show evolves here over at iHeart, it's going to be, you know, it's just going to, as it did before, it just gets better and better and better. And the level of the guest rise. And, you know, why do we have guests on? Because we want to show people that people have done it. Right? I mean, you know, the guests that we've had historically, you know, we had our Sheeta Furman, who held the most Guinness Book of World Records.
Right, he was amazing.
Right, exactly. And, you know, we had Jason Pfeiffer, the chief editor of Entrepreneur Magazine. And
sports stars like Gary Sheffield.
Oh, Gary Sheffield, New York Yankee Gary Sheffield.
Right,
and,
amazing.
you know, why do we have these people on? Because we want to show that you can do it. You know, they've done it. These are people who started from nothing. And they did it. They went out there and they did it. And that's really what my show is about. Listen, I started from nothing. Right? And so that's what the show is about. And, you know, today's going to be an interesting show. Obviously, it's the inaugural show over here at iHeart. And I'm on top of the world here. It's just amazing. But, you know, we're going to have a special guest today. And, you know, it's everyone has probably known or seen him, or has heard of him, and you know, another guy that started with nothing. It's professional boxer Gerry Cooney, New Yorker Gerry Cooney. And why Gerry? You know, it's interesting because you're talking about fighting, right? And really, that's really what go big or go home is. You have to get out there and fight for what you want.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
you have to get out.
He's a perfect guest.
He's a perfect guest. You have to get out from behind the cubicle, go out, figure out what you want to do, and go after it. For all our listeners out there, I just want to let you know the phone lines are open. You can call in with questions. That's what the show is about. Call in with your questions. Call in when you want to learn how to finance a business. You want to start a business. How do I do it? Is this a good idea? We have a power pitch. I'm sure you've heard the Maoli Minute, which talks about daily business tips, but this is a chance for you to call in and get advice. If you can't figure out how to do it, just call in and get advice. And it's 1-800-321-0710. And we're going to bring in Gerry Cooney. We have Gerry Cooney on the line, and we're going to bring him in, and we're going to get him on the air, and we're going to talk. We got.
All right.
We got him. All right. Gerry, you there?
Hey, Tom, listen, I just want to start off this interview with, I'm going to tell you, I want 2 or 3 or whatever you sell them, bro. It's good.
How you doing, Gerry?
Tom, I want to tell you, let me just tell the listeners, too. I want to tell you, I admired listening to you, which you just spoke the last 5 minutes. And I want to tell you, I got a chance the other day to come to your home, your office, where your car dealerships are, and how you perform, and it's everything what I just heard you talking about.
Well, listen, I appreciate it. It was amazing, and you said something interesting. That is my home. My office is my home. My home is just where I go and sleep. But it's what I do every day, Gerry. It's in your blood, and you know that. We're going to talk about that. Once you get it in your blood, there's no stopping you.
And you got to fight. I mean, that's what you talked about. You got to wait for the bell to ring. You got to be prepared. You got to ask for help.
Exactly.
And jump in the water and start swimming.
And you know what? It's determination. Determination is, I always say, I'll hire somebody that has determination and desire over education and money.
Hey, Tom, let me tell you something. Desire, that's you to the fullest. And I met you one time. We spent a couple of hours together. It was great for me. I walked out of like a 6 feet above the ground, because you exude that. And that's what life is about, because we're here and we're going.
That's amen.
We got to grab as much as we can, and we got to grow and reach for the stars. And I'm 100% with you.
Amen. I agree. And before we get started with questions, Gerry, because I have a lot of questions. I mean, my mind is just it's going crazy with all the questions that entrepreneurs out there, and how you like boxing, right? What does that have to do with entrepreneurship? It really doesn't, but it does, because it's about going after what you want. But I want to just let all the listeners know that Gerry has his own show also on Sirius XM Radio. It's Friday night at the fights, and I think everybody should, after this, should tune into it. I think it's amazing that Gerry has his own show. I'm going to start tuning into it, because I love boxing. I love listen, I grew up in boxing. I remember sitting in my living room and my father watching the boxing matches. I love it. I mean, I love it.
Watching Gerry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Watching Gerry.
I'm on Monday and Friday nights at the fights. It's Channel 93, Sirius XM, with my partner Randy Gordon. We have a great 2-hour show, and we talk about the fights coming up, the great fights from the past. And it's a great program. We bring movie stars on, basketball players, football players, actors. It's just a great atmosphere. And so tune in sometime to get a chance. I hope it's not going to interfere with your time.
No, not at all. Are you kidding? No, listen.
Sunday mornings.
We're Sunday mornings from 10 to 11, the Go Big or Go Home show. And, Gerry, you started in 1977. You fought from 1977 to 1990. You started way before that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I went into actually, I started fighting when I was 15 and a half. And at 16, I went into the New York State Golden Glove Championship in Manhattan. And I had 5 fights going into the finals. And I was, 3-1 underdog. I knocked the guy out in the 3rd round, and I won the middleweight championship after only boxing for like 6 months. And because once the bell rings, like you in your business, you got to pay your rent,
There you go.
Hey,
There's
there
the
you
bell,
go.
Jerry. There's the bell.
There's
It's
your
time
bell,
to
Gerry.
exactly. You know what, Jerry? Hold that thought. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to be right back. I've got tons of questions. The listeners want to hear everything you have to say. Well, it's Tom Maoli. Go big or go home. When we come back, the phone lines are open. It's 1-800-321-0710. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm owner Tom Maoli. I want to personally invite you to experience the celebrity treatment at Alfa Romeo of Morris County. We treat all of our customers like a VIP celebrity. You'll find the most competitive prices in the industry and 18 acres of inventory.
Right now, get a new 2018 Alfa Romeo 4C Coupe for just $699 a month.
The fastest way to get the status you deserve and the value you expect is to follow the star to Alfa Romeo of Morris County. Shop where the celebrities shop. Hi, I'm owner Tom Maoli. I want to personally invite you to experience the celebrity treatment at BMW of Springfield. You'll find the most competitive prices in the industry and a parking deck which is 10 stories high, full of inventory.
Right now, get a new 2018 BMW X3 3.0i with xDrive for only $349 a month.
The fastest way to get the status you deserve and the value you expect is to follow the star to BMW of Springfield. Shop where the celebrities shop. Getting ready. Is it? And we're back. It's Tom Maoli, Go Big or Go Home, and we are in the iHeart Studios, the Len Berman Studios. It's
Very
unbelievable. Yeah, it's got to pinch myself. It's unbelievable.
And Tom, the studios, there's about a half a dozen studios here at iHeart.
It's unbelievable.
They're absolutely gorgeous.
You know, 250 million listeners out there listening to here, and we have a special guest, Gerry Cooney. Gerry, you on the line?
I am, Tom.
Great. So you started. Before we took the commercial break, we started in 1977. Was your first match? You started at 15 years old boxing. What was in your head? Because that it's all about what's in your head. It's positive thinking and it's about determination. What was in your head?
Well, I was an angry kid because I grew up in an alcoholic household, and boxing was a way for me to express my anger. And then they put my picture in the paper, so it kept me alive and fed me. And I went into the amateurs. I won the Golden Gloves twice, made it to 3 times to the finals. I fought on the United States team. I got invited to the finals of the Olympic trials, but I didn't go because my father was sick and dying.
Wow.
And he passed. And then I turned pro in '77, and I embarked on a career that, listen, every time you step in the ring, your life is on the line. So you got to be in shape and you got to take care of yourself. And I knocked off a string of great victories. And that's how it went.
Oh, you had an amazing career. What goes through the mind when you're training? Talk to me about what goes through your mind when you're training, because, it's almost like, my show is about entrepreneurs and people that want to get out there and start their own businesses. But, they sit behind the cubicles every day and they have ideas and they don't know how to execute them. And here you are, you have this idea, I'm going to be a boxer, right? And now you're training, right? Did you ever think that you're going to be in the ring in championship matches against, Larry Holmes, Madison Square Garden? Like, what goes through your head?
Well, listen, this is what you do. I mean, everyone's gifted, with certain traits and certain abilities. And, our job as being human is to find them growing up and then pursue them and get as much information as we can so we can be the best we can when the bell rings. Because the bell does ring for all of us in life. And so I was fortunate that, I was able to get into the ring. I was very successful. I was a good puncher. And 19 years old, I turned professional and embarked on a boxing career, which is, wow, I wanted to go as far as I could go. I wanted to keep pushing myself and getting better and better. And fortunately, I had a great trainer and good people around me, and they took me a long way. Well,
good people is important. And we're going to take a second here, Gerry. We have Dan from New Jersey calling back. He has a question for you. Dan?
Great, Jim.
Hey, Gerry, I got a quick question for you. If you could go back in time and you could talk to your 13-year-old self with the experience you have now, what would you tell your 13-year-old self?
Well, my life would have been completely different because I grew up learning a lot of negativity. I was no good. You're a failure. When you grow up in an alcoholic family, there's a lot of negativity pushed around. And I would have told that kid, listen, don't listen to that. Come here. I would have looked for somebody else to grab a hold of to help direct me in the right way. And unfortunately, history keeps repeating itself. And so I get a chance today to hang out and work with kids to help them change the way they look at themselves and hopefully make their lives a little bit easier. Thank you for that call.
Excellent. Thank you.
Gerry, it's amazing because, we'll take a second here and talk about giving back. That's kind of what my show's about. It's giving back. I've been blessed. I've been successful. Things have come my way, been in the right place at the right time. And there's a lot of people out there that they want it, but they don't know how to do it. They can't get engaged. They can't get themselves off the chair.
Well, they're afraid. They're they're not sure. They're not positive. You gotta catch up, and there's people out there like this radio program and many other programs out there where you can listen, pay attention, start reading some books on what you want to do, and follow it, and go to some seminars, and listen to your radio show, and fight and get better and learn more, and you become more confident and more available, and that's how we grow. That's how you sell all those cars you sell every week.
Right, and you're 6'6". And you're right, big guy. Why boxing and not basketball?
Because I was always growing up in that kind of an atmosphere. You learn you can't really trust anybody. So wrestling was for me. I was a wrestler, and boxing because I'm in there by myself. I can depend on myself. I don't got to depend on anybody else. And that's, I did play football. I messed around with football, but basically it was wrestling and boxing for me because I could depend upon myself.
So talk about, obviously now you pick boxing, you're out there and you start training and you're a young kid and I'm sure you're dreaming like everyone else, you're dreaming Madison Square Garden, you're dreaming, fighting championship fights. What about fear?
Listen, fear runs through all of us. You, me, Jim there. I mean, all the listeners. At some point in our life when we're going to put ourselves on, when we're going to step up to the bat, to home plate and take that swing, fear's got some part of it, but you can use fear to help you grow, and that's what you have to control it, maintain it, and that's through education and being around good people that can help motivate you to jump over the hurdle and get to the next step up the line and grow. And that's what we got to do. That's what boxing is. Listen, my thing is the bell's going to ring. I got to be ready. Once the bell rings, I'm ready. I got a fight plan. I worked out. I trained. My trainer worked with me, and I'm going to find a way in to make the opening to catch you and hurt you.
Right, and it's interesting you said.
Not you, Tom. Not you.
I got it.
Gerry, one quick question that's interesting. You mentioned about fear. Obviously, before a big match or a big boxing match, does fear play a role at that point? Right before you go out there, you're in the locker room, or how does that equate?
Well, I mean, listen, you're going out there, you know what's going to happen. I mean, you broke down the fight and how you're going to fight, and you make adjustments, but you don't know what's going on. Obviously, it's called butterflies for athletes.
Right.
You have a healthy form of butterflies. Right. It's a fear, and you want the fight to go your way you want, but that's also it's adrenaline that helps you in the fight. Once the bell rings and just you and the guy fighting, that fear goes away, and you're working out a plan how to get to him, how to open him, how to land to the body, how to get him to drop his hand and throw the hook to the head. It's similar, very similar to all walks of life that we got. And you just got to, you take a good shot, you fall back, you move forward again.
Yeah, Gerry.
That's the deal.
Yeah, Gerry, it's interesting you say because you talked about a plan, and in business we do business plans, right? You sit down, you write out your business plan, you figure out what you want to do, you say, this is what I need to finance this business, and I'm going to go out there, and you get those butterflies, and you're ready to go, just like you're heading to the ring, and all of a sudden, the rubber hits the road, and things are not the way you planned. And I always say, the greatest entrepreneurs in the world and the greatest business people in the world are people who fix problems, not people who everything goes perfect, right? So now you're in the ring. Tell us, you're swinging and you got your plan and it's not going the way you designed it.
But you come back after the round and you sit in your corner. You have a great trainer sitting there in front of you telling you, listen, make these adjustments. Like Emmanuel Stewart was a great trainer. He had a lot of great fighters.
Of course.
And I remember him telling Lennox Lewis one night, listen, when you throw the right hand, you keep missing them. So aim the right hand 6 inches to the right. And so he came out in the next round. He moved around. When he threw the right hand, instead of throwing it straight, he threw it out 6 inches to the right and caught the guy and knocked him out.
Unbelievable.
Wow, amazing.
You're going to make. Everyone's going to make mistakes. How do you recover? How much is your downtime? How much before you can come back and get back on track? And that's in boxing. You don't have the luxury of 3 weeks of communication. You got to make the adjustment in split-second timing, or you're out of there.
You're out of there, exactly, and that's the interesting part of it. It's in business. It's the same thing. You got to make adjustments. You got to get out there. You got to make adjustments. You got to see what you're doing wrong, and you got to make adjustments. And one of the things that I think is interesting, especially with boxing, right? You're out there, and it's not going the way you expect it, and all of a sudden, are you waiting for the bell to ring so you can get back to the corner to make your adjustments, or are you frustrated in the ring, or are you talk about it? Talk about that emotion.
And what does the role does the trainer play?
Sometimes it's 20 seconds into the round, you're figuring, oh, no, this is not working. You can't go back to the ring. You can't go back to the corner for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So you got to make adjustments yourself. You got to pay attention, and you got to watch. And, it's like a tunnel vision. Listen, I don't know, in your business, obviously, you've had to have great tunnel vision for the success you've been through, and the staff and the people around you, which I also admired in your office. But,
thank you.
You have to make those adjustments. You got to, have that tunnel vision to create the opening. The guy, when you come out, the guy throws a jab. What does he do next? Next time he throws a jab, that's what he's going to do next. So you're wide awake to that. So you drop down, throw the right hand to the body, then you come back to the head. It's constantly making adjustments, and the guy is trying to make those adjustments on you too. That's what makes boxing so great and so exciting.
Yeah, it's great. And you know what? We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to be back, Gerry. If you could just hang on the phone. When I get back, I want you to think about, here's what I want you to think about, because I want to talk to the listeners about this, because it's so important in business, in life, in every aspect of which way you move, but especially business, because that's what a lot of my listeners are listening to my advice for. And it's you get knocked down, you're on the ground, and now you got to get back up and go at it again. We're going to be back with Gerry Cooney, professional boxer, world champion professional boxer, in a moment. We're going to take a commercial break. It's Tom Maoli. Go big or go home. When we get back, the phone lines are open. It's 800-321-0710, and it's we're broadcasting here from the Lem Berman Studios at iHeart. We'll be back in a few minutes. I'm owner Tom Maoli. I want to personally invite you to experience the celebrity treatment at Alfa Romeo of Morris County. We treat all of our customers like a VIP celebrity. You'll find the most competitive prices in the industry and 18 acres of inventory.
Right now, get a new 2018 Alfa Romeo Giulia for only $299 a month.
The fastest way to get the status you deserve and the value you expect is to follow the star to Alfa Romeo of Morris County. Shop where the celebrities shop. I'm owner Tom Maoli, and I want to personally invite you to experience the celebrity treatment. At Lexus of Route 10, it's the quality, it's the service. We have the most competitive prices in the industry, and we have 30 acres worth of inventory.
Right now, get a new 2018 Lexus NX 300 for only $349 a month.
The fastest way to get the status you deserve and the value you expect is to follow the star to Lexus of Route 10, the #1 volume Lexus dealer in the Eastern region. There's no. And we're back. It's Tom Maoli, Go Big or Go Home, from the Lem Berman Studios, iHeart Studios. Again, I'm just going to repeat myself because I'm on cloud 9 here. I cannot believe that I'm at sitting here at WOR 710 iHeart Studios, 250 million listeners. It's unbelievable. And just to remind everyone, on the daily drive, morning drive to work on 710, and on your drive home from work is the Maoli Minute. Daily business tips from myself. We look at the markets, we look at see what happened with the stock markets and the world markets, and and Washington. A lot of going on in Washington right now. A lot of things happening in Washington that affect your business and your affairs and your money, and we talk about it on a daily basis. We give you quick minute tips to get you through the week to get you to this show.
And, Tom, the studios are just absolutely gorgeous here. So what we'll do is we'll probably take a couple of pictures of us afterwards and put it on the website.
Absolutely.
So anybody wants to see it, TomMaoli.net.
No doubt.
Great.
Absolutely.
Great.
So the phone lines are open. It's 1-800-321-0710. We have professional boxer Gerry Cooney on the phone with us, and he's been absolutely amazing. And, Gerry, are you there?
I certainly am.
I before we go into that question, we had a caller and we lost them, but we're going to go into the question that we talked about before we took the commercial break, Jer. And you get in the ring and you get knocked down, and I don't mean that personally to you. It's business too.
It's life.
It's life. You get in right. You start a business, and boom, all of a sudden you got problems, and you got issues, and you got this, and whatever it may be. What do you do? How do you feel? You're on the ground. Do you feel like obviously yours is a little more physical, right? But do you want to get up?
Good.
Talk about it.
It's a great experience. I'm 19. I'm 25 years old. In 1982, I'm fighting Larry Holmes for the heavyweight championship of the world. I'm in good shape. I'm going out. We're fighting. The first round finishes. I come back in the second round. I get dropped with our right hand. And I find myself one knee on the ground saying,
wow.
What the hell? How did you end up? What happened here?
Yeah.
And you get up and you got to fight back. You got to back him up so he don't think he can come take charge. And I went on and won the rest of the round.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Fight back in life. Fight back in life. That's what you got to do.
Fight back in life. That's right. You can't give up. You get knocked down. You got to come back at it. We have two. I want to go back to this because this is actually more important than winning. But I think we have two callers on the line. We're going to take the first one. It's George. George from Queens. Your backyard, Gerry, Queens. We're going to talk about George from Queens. Go ahead, George. We have Gerry Cooney on the line.
George,
hey, I can't believe I'm talking to Gerry Cooney, man.
How you doing?
Do you remember Bobby Reynolds?
Sure, I do.
You lived around the corner from you in Huntington?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm his brother, George.
Hey, George, how are you? Great. Nice to talk to you. How's things?
Yeah, not bad. Can't complain. I remember one time in the bar around the corner on 110.
Yeah.
You were hanging out there with my brother and some people, and these three guys were picking on you because you were a big guy, and you took them outside and beat the crap out of them. That's what.
Well, we don't talk about that on the radio.
Yeah, the old neighborhood stories here.
Yeah. They started with you. You didn't start with them. You never bothered anybody.
What was your question?
Doing nothing.
Yep.
I just wanted to tell people that.
That's all right. Thanks for calling in, and we have another caller from New Jersey. We're gonna.
Nice to talk to you.
Go ahead, New Jersey. We got New Jersey on the line. Sal from New Jersey.
Yes, sir. How are you, Tom and Jim?
Hi, Sal.
Hey,
How are you,
Gerry.
Sal?
Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk
Very
to you.
good, Gerry. Hey, listen, I was privileged enough to sit in on your meeting in Tom's office, and you told a story which I think you should relate to the listeners out there about your brother and when you were both in the Golden Gloves. Could you explain that to us again?
Well, that was a great experience. My brother left the home when he was 15 and started boxing when he was around 17, 18, and I followed him to the gym, and we both entered into the New York State Golden Glove Championships. We were in good shape. He was a heavyweight. I was a middleweight. We both made it to the finals of this on St. Patty's Day in 1973. And I remember that day at the weigh-in. I prayed to God. I said, God, if one of us has to lose, let it be me, because I wanted my brother to win. I love my brother. And unfortunately, I went out. I won the middleweight championship, and he lost by decision. He fought some very experienced guy from Jamaica, and
that's great, Gerry. That's amazing. That's amazing that you wanted your brother, a competitive guy, a boxer. We're all about competition and competitiveness and winning, but it's amazing that you wanted your brother to win over you.
Great story, Gerry. It's real heartwarming.
Thank you.
So, Gerry, back to
the future.
So, Gerry, back to the question. You're on the ground. You got to get up and you got to fight back. What do you do?
Well, you realize you're down on the ground. You got dropped. So then you got to take 8 seconds. Feel good about yourself, and then it's a mind game. I have to get up. I got to walk him down, back him up, make him understand. He doesn't got a hold of me at all. I'm okay. I got shaken a little bit, but I'm fine. And you got to reverse the table. You got to turn it around. You got to work it out, and that's what you do. You have to fight back. A lot of people get dropped. They get up. They stay down. You have to fight back and turn the table around.
Right. And you know what? That's what life is about. It's about turning the table around. It's about fighting back. You get, in business, you get dropped, you get punched. It's amazing because, my daughter is in college studying to be an entrepreneur. And, I tell her all the time, I said, listen, in business, she'll talk to me at the end of the day or during the day. And she'll you had a busy day. And I said, Veronica, you don't understand. It's in business. People are throwing punches at you all day long. There's stuff flying at you, good, bad, everything. You got to be able to fend it off. You have to deal with it. You have to deal with the situation at hand. You have to look at the big picture, but you got to look at all the small blows that are coming at you. And at the end of the day, they all add up. And, you just deal with it. You just go at it. You can't sit there and get stuck in the mud and say, this happened to me and poor me and, this didn't work out. You have to just say, you know what, I'm gonna either fix this or I'm going around it, and I'm gonna fix it a different way, and I'm gonna go after it, and I'm gonna keep going towards the ultimate goal, because at the end of the day, those little things don't matter.
And you got to stay in the fight. You got to stay in there. And don't rest, don't take any time off. You got to keep working it out, and finding the way. And that's what great champions do. That's what I hear in your voice, Tom.
Yeah. Well, listen.
All this great. I hear all this stuff in your voice. But let me ask you a big question. Here's the deal. You're so confident. What are you going to do? You and me. It's 6 rounds in the garden. Winner take all.
I'm in. Gerry, I'm in. Listen, I would.
Can I be
listen,
promoter?
I would not put my money up against you because clearly, you're a professional, and listen, you're.
I'm just kidding.
You're a big boy, but I'll put my money on me all day long, and that's what I do. By the way, that's what an entrepreneur does.
Right.
Puts his money on himself all day long. To me, I just got back from the Kentucky Derby. I was out at the Derby, and people are sitting there and they're handicapping, and and I happen to have the winner in the race, and I'm not saying I'm the greatest handicapper in the world, and but it's the jockey that you got to bet on the jockey too. It's not just a horse.
Well, you're 100% right, but like you said, you got to be in it, and you got to keep fighting the good fight, and you also talked about going to the Kentucky Derby, which is great. We also got to play and relax.
Oh, well, yeah, you got to have fun in life. If you don't have fun, then we're just wasting our time. If you're going to get in the ring and you're just going to beat your head in every day and practice every day and just you're never going to be able to see clearly.
Right.
You got to step back. You got to step back. So talk about, and I'm going to save the last 15 minutes to talk about your career and a couple of the charities that you're involved in, because I want to help promote those also. Right. But, talk about, we're now into this, it's all about in your mind. How much of boxing is in your mind versus physical? And I know in business, and I'm relating this back to business because my listeners are all about business, right? But how much in business, it's so much in your mind. People think it's physical, and I don't mean physical, your body. Physical, you got to do it. You got to build a building. You got to sell cars. No, it's in your mind. It's 90% mental, 10% physical. How much of boxing? Tell me what your thought process is.
Yeah, well, boxing is like a chess match. You're going to talk to each other. You're going to sign for the fight. Once you sign to fight, I'm trying to get the upper hand mentally, physically, spiritually. I want to play that guy. I want to get him vulnerable. I want to find his vulnerability so I can, when the bell rings, I can play it. And same thing in business. Everyone's got weaknesses. You got to try and horn them out and the best you can, and try and get under the other guy's skin and figure out where his weaknesses are. How you can make yourself better from those weaknesses.
Right, and you have to, that's a daily thing. You got to be sharp, and like you said, if you don't play and have fun in life, you're not going to be sharp.
No, you burn yourself out, and then there's no fun anymore. But, I look at life as a pie. There's 6 slices. One's work, family, play, spirituality, whatever it is, 6 pieces. And you got to do a little work in all those pieces of pie every day. And that's how you grow, and you become more successful that way.
All right, so ready? Right hook. Here's the right hook. Do you ever want to give up?
No.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, Gerry. I have.
Listen, when I was in the business, it's very difficult. I was in a business. Don King owned all the heavyweights.
Right.
I refused to sign with him, so he kept me out. It was a lot more frustrating, but I had to wait him out. So I was only fighting once a year when I should have been fighting 3 or 4 times a year. But I got the big fight with Holmes. Had I had 3 or 4 more fights, even Holmes said it, I probably could have beat him. But that being said, I was in there with the man. It was 115 degrees that night, and we were in outside in Caesar's Palace in the parking lot in a stadium they built, 35,000-seat stadium. And we had a great night. We threw down. We fought back and forth. I was up. He was down. Went back and forth. And unfortunately, I got stopped in the 13th round, but it was a great experience. We're great friends today. We do stuff all year long. And that's what we're talking about, charity. I got a great program, YCS. We help underprivileged kids find their way back to the mainstream of life.
YCS, Patterson and Bridgewater, New Jersey. Great.
Oh, there's 80 different sites.
Oh, wow, that's great.
In Jersey.
What's is there a website, Gerry, that we can tell all the listeners?
Yes, YCS.com. You go on there. Listen, we have a big fight night coming up June 2nd at the W Hotel in Hoboken. That's where we have a top-rated amateur show. And then at the end of the night, I box 2 guys from the community that I've trained all year, get them in shape, teach them how to fight, and then they bring their friends and sponsors in, and we raise money for kids, for programs, for summer camp, for school, help change their life. And we understand that you guys are going to be involved a little bit with a sponsorship or something.
Absolutely, true? Definitely. We're definitely going to be involved with a sponsorship. There's no doubt.
Sure.
And all the listeners should get involved. You should go on the website and you should look at this, because here is something that is getting kids off the street. This is something this is important. Getting kids off the street. Changing their lives. Right. Getting them off the street, showing them a way. And listen, at the end of the day, are they going to be professional boxers? Maybe not. But guess what? You're going to give them motivation. You're going to give them spirituality. You're going to give them desire and show them what it is to continue to push forward and not give up. And that, I commend you for it, Gerry. That's amazing, 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 amazing.
Well, you know what, Tommy? Teaching boxing is a metaphor for teaching them about life. If you can learn to box, you can learn to do anything as long as you apply yourself. Boxing helps them get rid of their anger, makes them more manageable, makes them more interested in life, more personable. You learn to communicate. In boxing, I need you to help me put my gloves on. I need you to help me put my headgear on. And we help each other.
Right. And you know what? We should help. Everybody should help each other in life, and I agree with that. And by the way, I think I'm going to come over there and take a little course, because there's no way I'm getting in the ring with you and betting it all, mine against yours, because unless I take a few lessons from you.
Tom, I'm going to make you look good for a while, I promise.
All right, that's all I care about. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to be back. It's Tom Maoli, Go Big or Go Home. We have Gerry Cooney, professional boxer, on the line. We have a few more questions for you, Gerry, so just hang on. I appreciate your time. When we come back, the phone lines are open. It's 800-321-0710, and it's WOR Studios, Tom Maoli, Go Big or Go Home. I'm owner Tom Maoli, and I want to personally invite you to experience the celebrity treatment. At Lexus of Route 10, it's the quality, it's the service. We have the most competitive prices in the industry, and we have 30 acres worth of inventory.
Right now, get a new 2018 Lexus RX 350 for only $449 a month.
The fastest way to get the status you deserve and the value you expect is to follow the star to Lexus of Route 10, the #1 volume Lexus dealer in the Eastern region. I'm owner Tom Maoli, and I want to personally invite you to experience the celebrity treatment at Maserati of Morris County. We offer a luxury vehicle buying experience. We have the most competitive prices in the industry and the largest inventory available.
Right now, get a new 2018 Maserati Ghibli SQ4 for just $699 a month.
The fastest way to get the status you deserve and the value you expect is to follow the star to Maserati of Morris County. Shop where the celebrities shop. And we're back. It's Tom Maoli, serial entrepreneur at the iHeart Studios, the Len Berman Studios, and we have special guest, Gerry Cooney. Gerry, you're on the line. We have a caller who has a question from, looks like New York. Oh, no, we lost that. He must have dropped off. These cell phones are amazing. Yep. But, Gerry, we're back. I want to talk a little bit about, and, because I want the people to hear your success. It's Larry Holmes, Ken Norton, Spinks, George Foreman. The names go on.
Some names, right?
Names go on and on and on and on. What was your best fight? What was your hardest fight? 2 questions.
Well, obviously, in my fight I was ranked number 1 in the world when I fought Kenny Norton in Madison Square Garden. It was a very powerful fight for me. Because that was he broke Muhammad Ali's jaw. He beat Ali really 2 out of 3 times, and I was getting the chance. He beat Tex Cobb, who beat Ernie Shavers.
Oh boy!
And so
Ernie Shavers! Wow, great names.
Oh my God!
They matched him up to fight me, and listen, I thought I was in a very, very tough fight that night. I mean, I was fighting Mandingo. Do you remember the movie Mandingo?
Yes.
So anyway, he was built like a rock. And the bell rang. I thought to myself, let me get in there. I want to touch him up a little bit and let him know my power. I hit him with a body shot. He kind of buckled a little bit. And 54 seconds into that first round, the referee called halt to the fight. I knocked him out in the first round. That was my best fight, probably.
Great.
Although Eddie Animal Lopez was pretty good earlier on. And the most powerful guy I fought was George Foreman. I had I was in great shape. I had gotten sober. And I wound up going out and catching him with a great shot. I hurt him a couple of times in the first round. If you go on YouTube, you can hear him talking to David Letterman, talk about how I was the most powerful puncher ever hit him.
Excellent.
I caught him with a couple of good shots, and I left myself open, and I got stopped in the second round. But listen, great career. I loved every bit about it. I wish I would have taken better care of myself. Listen, we all make mistakes in our lives, right?
Listen, I saw you in my office, this week. You look pretty good. You look pretty good. Fantastic. So I think you did a good job at it, on an overall. And we're going to take 1 second here. We have someone from Bayhead, New Jersey, who has a question for you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bayhead.
Hey, Gerry, man. It's good talking to you, man. Brings back memories. You're a great inspiration now, man. It's good to hear a boxer. You still got it together, man. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, so when is that? You got a charity you set up in Hoboken. You having a fight. When is that again?
That's so nice of you to ask. Every year, June 2nd, at the W Hotel in Hoboken, we put on a top-rated amateur show. And then I've been training these 2 big guys, all year long, businessmen in the community. And they invite all their friends, and they sponsor the program, and we come and we raise money. It's June 2nd at the W Hotel. You can come for dinner. You can come just for the fights. And it's a great experience every year. The place you want to be in New Jersey is the W Hotel in Hoboken.
Yeah, man, that sounds good. I'm gonna get my friends to go up there.
Get a bus load and bring them up there. I'm gonna be there. I'll be there. We're going.
So who are the 2 guys? Are they 2 middleweight, lightweight? Who you got boxing up there?
No, well, amateur show is a top-rated show in New Jersey. They put on a great show, 8 to 9 fights every year, and then they go home. And I've been training these 2 guys, one Wall Street guy, and one guy's a big businessman. I mean, big as me, 6'6", 250 pounds. And I've been training them for a year. They bring all their friends. They come down, and then I smack them around a little bit, make them feel good.
Great.
That's great. Yeah, get a busload down there from Bayhead. Get them up there. We want to load the place up, and we're going to support this all the way. This is a great charity. It's a great cause, and thanks for your call. And Gerry, back question. So we talked about Larry Holmes. We talked about Ken Norton, Spinks, George Foreman, all these guys, right? Amazing career, right? You talked about Don King and the fact that you didn't sign with him, but he called you the Great White Hope. He obviously loved you. Why didn't you sign with him?
I didn't sign with him because it was like when you sign with him, he told you what you're getting paid. He told you who you fight, when you fight. It's a free country. And I should be able to fight the next best guy like in the amateurs, but that's not what happened in boxing back then. So we wanted to keep our share of the money, so we decided to go it alone. And that was a good thing. I made the big paydays in my career, but I didn't get the experience I needed with 3 or 4 or 5 other guys I could have fought that he owned, that would have gave me the experience to maybe I would have had a better shot at winning the title.
Right. So you fought Holmes with a $10 million purse.
Right.
Talk to me. What do you think about these purses today, and what's out there?
Listen, when Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor went in there and made $100 million, listen, let me tell you something. I would fight both of those guys now together
for $100 million.
That's great. That's amazing. So do you think they're out of control, or do you think they're in line with what the industry's calling for?
Listen, some guys they warrant it. I mean, obviously Mayweather's undefeated. McGregor is a very tough guy in his field, but you can't take. I tell guys, listen, you can't come into my house and get in the ring with me and think that you're gonna do anything with me. I'm the king of my house. Mayweather is the best. He's undefeated. No one's ever beat him in the professional boxing ring. Conor McGregor is great in the UFC, but he decided to fight Mayweather in the boxing ring. Yeah,
well, talk about. We're going to run out of time shortly, but I want to talk about UFC. What do you think about UFC? I don't like it, but what do you think about it?
Well, listen, I think it's interesting. It used to be a lot more interesting. A lot of the great names have gone. And the wear and tear in that business, where you're taking knees to the head. I heard a guy the other day lost his eye. He got kicked in the head with the guy's foot, and he lost an eye. I mean, those things, that's like maiming.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's barbaric.
Very tough guys. I love WWF.
Oh, WWF.
Yeah, great stuff.
Absolutely, WWF. But the UFC is barbaric. I just don't see it. I don't think it's good for kids to see this. And boxing's totally different. Boxing is a sport of competitiveness.
Tommy, I see these guys that I know, they have children that are getting involved learning MMA. I think, what are you, crazy? What do you want to get your kid interested in something like that? I mean, there's no protection for you.
Right.
There's no headgear. There's small gloves. There's bare feet. I mean, it's a nightmare.
Right.
But there's a certain portion of this world that loves it. And so they're going to follow it.
They're going to follow it.
Anything about it?
Yeah. So what do you tell me about you real quick about injuries? Are you sore? Do you get up every morning at this point in your life? Or how do you feel?
Tommy, I wake up in the morning, wake my eyes up. I feel like I'm 18 years old. And then I put my foot on the floor. Oh, shit. That's right. I'm not 18 anymore. Listen, I feel great. I've torn my rotator cuff. I snapped my tendon off my finger. I broke my nose once, got my feelings hurt a few times. But basically, I have a great life. My body's good. I'm working out every day. I'm following the fight game. Like I tell you, I'm on Sirius XM 93 Monday and Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. I mean, you got guys fighting to the heavyweight division, the light heavyweight division, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. Boxing game is so big and large and great. So many great fights coming up. Please, I tell people, tune into boxing. Tune into Sirius XM 93 Monday and Friday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. Follow it on Max Boxing. Follow the ESPN boxing scene. Catch up again. It's back to where we were. Back in the early 80s, that's where boxing's coming to, and maybe even better.
That's great. Well, listen, Gerry, we appreciate your time. I appreciate you calling in and giving all this advice to the listeners, and it's absolutely amazing, and it's a pleasure, and it's an honor to have you on the phone, and hopefully we'll talk soon. And we're coming to the end of the show here, and again, I appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day, and keep doing what you're doing. And for the listeners out there, it's Sirius XM Radio, Friday night at the fights. Gerry Cooney, tune in, listen to it. Over and above that, you got to get involved in the YCS. It's important charity. It's important for kids. It's a great thing. Gerry's doing a wonderful thing. We all need to get out there and support everything he's doing. And we would appreciate anything that anyone wants to do. The guy from down in New Jersey, there in Bayhead, get a bus, bring all your people up. We're going to be there. You'll get to meet me and Jim, and it's going to be a great night. Gerry, thank you very much.
Gerry's great.
Tommy, I want you. Tommy, I want you.
Listen, we're going to do it. We're going to set this up. I need a little training, and there's only one guy I would go to for that training, and it would be you. And I'm concerned that you're not going to train me properly because you want to win.
Listen, Tommy, I love you guys. Great
job.
Love you, Gerry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is Tom Maoli from the WOR Studios. Go Big or Go Home. Inaugural show. I want to thank great show. I want to thank all the listeners for listening in. This is the first of many, and just remember, it's the Maoli Minute on a daily, on the morning drive, on your drive home from work. Listen to it. It's daily business tips. It gives you advice. It keeps you, it keeps you in tune until you get to the weekend and get to hear the Go Big or Go Home show. And, exactly. And, again, remember the phone lines are open every week. We're going to have, the guests are going to get, I don't know how they get better and better, but, Gerry Cooney was a great start. It was a great start. The phone lines here are 800-321 0710, and it's Tom Maoli, Go Big or Go Home from the Lem Berman Studios. I want to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day, and we'll see you next week.
Great job, Tom.
Good start.
The proceeding was a paid program. WOR's airing of this program constitutes neither an endorsement of the products offered or the ideas expressed.